Hello gamers, it's Tom Sidener, the Lonely Gamer, and today is Friday, March the 31st, last day of March, 2017. I got a little bit of news today. Things are pretty crazy in our lives right now. We're currently in the process of buying a new home, selling an old home, and doing a bunch of stuff, and I'm burning the candle at both ends. So I don't have a ton today, but I wanted to get a little show out for you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. I'm going to give a little bit of news, and then I'm going to do a question and answer with John, which was pre-recorded, and I'm going to ask him the same questions that I answered just a couple weeks ago. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I will, after this is done, I will see you next time. So first up, AEG has put out a new expansion for Smash Up. It's called the What Were We Thinking expansion. It's got a bunch of new kooky characters that you can add to your decks. The first one is rock stars, then we've got teddy bears, explorers, and then grandmas or grannies. So those are the 4 factions that are in the expansion, and those can be added to all the other expansions. So you can have zombie grannies, or you can have robot rock stars or something. So it looks really fun. I do like Smash Up. It's a good game, and so this expansion is another good thing to add to it. Another interesting thing is Stonemaier Games, the makers of Scythe, have announced another expansion for Scythe. I like the Invaders from Afar expansion, and now they've added another expansion, and that is called the Wind Gambit. And this expansion has airships, and this is really cool. They have these really cool airships that'll fly around the board. The airships start in your local area, but they can actually cross rivers at the start of the game, so it kind of speeds up exploring in the game. I think it's going to be pretty cool. It also has another small expansion with the airships expansion, and that's Resolutions, and that's going to give you alternate endings to the game. So there's going to be cards you draw, and that card will tell you how the game ends and what kind of special things happens at the end. Both of these little modular expansions are in the same expansion, the Wind Gambit, and they look pretty cool, and this is a really interesting thing. Also, one thing that Stonemaier Games has announced is they're planning on coming out with a big box solution. So they're planning on coming out with a box. It's a box only, but something that you can store Scythe and all the expansions in. So that's going to be coming down the pike. They did a poll to see what customers actually wanted from them, and the biggest thing that came up was people wanted a storage solution for the game. And so I think they're going to come out with a really nice box with artwork and storage compartments for all the pieces, and that's going to be really cool too. So that's all I have for the news today. I'm going to go ahead and toss you over to questions and answers with me and John. You guys have a great week, and I will see you later. Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we are going to let John do the question and answers like I did last week. John was out of town and he hasn't had a chance to see what my answers were, so we're going to ask him the exact same questions, and we're going to see how he answered them. And it'll be kind of interesting to see if he answers anything the same. I think most of his answers will be different than mine because John is a much different gamer than I am, but it's going to be interesting to see, and I thought you guys would enjoy that. So we'll actually ask them in the same exact order, so if you want to go back and look at mine and compare the answers, you can. So the first question, John, is what are your top 3 favorite games and why?
Right. So I think I actually, I watched the first 2 questions you answered, and I think I did see that this was the first one for you. I don't even remember what your answers were. Innovation, without a doubt, is my #1 favorite game. And that's Carl Chuddik, and I think it's just very involved. There's a real richness to it, and I think there's a really interesting strategy. It's a game that you can get deeper and deeper and deeper into as you get to know the game better. It's very, very, very involved, very deep with 2 players. Gets a little bit more chaotic with 3 or 4 players, but I still think it's fun. The 2 and 3 would be pretty hard. Dominion would probably be my #2 game.
You're very good at Dominion.
I like the game a lot, and I play it a lot on my phone. So oftentimes, if I'm just killing time for 10 or 15 minutes, I'll play a game of Dominion on my phone by myself. I haven't played that many games in person, but I find it a really engaging gameplay, and I like the variety, all the different sets and all the different cards. It really is a different game each time. The third favorite, probably it changes all the time, And so I'd probably say kind of like my third favorite kind of just in the last little while would probably be Eclipse. I got that as an app for iOS, and I've been enjoying that a lot. But probably long term, I'd say Settlers of Catan. And I know there's flaws with it, but I think it's just, I think they did a lot of really great things with that game, and it's always really fun playing that with somebody who hasn't played board games in years and hasn't realized the renaissance that's gone on with board games. And oftentimes, Settlers of Catan does a really, really good job of being a gateway game, and so I always like a game of Settlers of Catan.
Yeah, we played Settlers of Catan one day, and I really had a good time playing with you guys, you and your wife. So yeah,
it's a fun game. Yeah.
Okay, well, good. So, okay, next, what is your favorite party game?
Oh, my favorite party game, Popularity Contest.
Right.
Because I know the designer.
Yeah, all right.
So.
And here's your money.
I'm not a huge party game guy, and so really probably my favorite party game would probably be kind of what's the least irritating party game that I play. I think Popularity Contest honestly is as good as any other party game out there, and I think it has the virtue of it has some interesting mechanics, and it's really simple. People understand it within like 30 seconds. You play one round and people have got it. So yeah.
Well, I just want to say, I had no idea John was going to say that, and I did not pay him to say that. So, and I will say this, Popularity Contest, actually, the original version was envisioned as a party game, but I actually cut it down to like a 6-player max game. So,
but you can combine them.
But you can combine them and make a party game out of it.
Yep, yep.
All right, so the next question, if you were stuck in a world where you could only play one game the rest of your life, what would it be?
Ooh, okay, so that's a decent question. I'd go super classic, so I'd probably say Go, just because it's, you know, kind of the classics, kind of Go and chess are just unbelievably deep games. And so if you could only play one game for the rest of your life, you want a game that you're never going to get bored with, you're never going to master. And I'd say chess and Go are examples of games that you're just never going to master. And I like Go a lot better than chess. So I'd say Go.
Okay. I've never played Go, so can you give us a little quick rundown on what it is?
So they say if aliens exist, they play Go. And so it's the simplest set of rules with unbelievably emergent complexity. And so basically you take turns placing stones on a 19 by 19 grid. And at the end of the game, the winner is the person who surrounded the most territory and captured the most stones of the other player. And you capture stones when they have a contiguous block with no holes in it. And you've completely surrounded them.
So we'll have to play that sometime.
Yeah,
I've actually never played that, so that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
so.
it's pretty wild.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, I got to change my thing here to the next questions. I got questions in different formats. So, okay, the next one is, what was your favorite game of 2016?
2016. I go back to this over and over. I really like Tyrants of the Underdark. That to me was just, they got in really early, like kind of adding the board to a deck builder. That seemed like a really rich vein that I think Clank did some good stuff with. And I think Tyrants of the Underdark was just a really, really well put together game. Yep.
Okay. What is your most anticipated game of 2017?
Of 2017. So I'm in the Kickstarter for the Innovation Deluxe set. So I'm pretty excited about that. I have no idea when that's going to come. It seems to keep getting delayed.
And that's interesting that that's getting delayed so much, because all it is a card game. It's just different artwork, right?
Just different artwork. It's all the mechanics and everything are there, although I think there was an expansion that's part of it, and they keep replay testing the expansion and fixing printing errors and stuff like that. I don't know. But just because it's kind of a cleaner, nicer version of Innovation, and I'm always kind of excited to see an expansion, and although the expansions aren't great, so I'll probably be disappointed with the expansion. But probably that. Yeah, probably the Innovation, the new release.
So, how many games do you have?
So surprisingly, I have way less games than you think. Like when I get a game, I want to know that I'm going to love it. I'm very, very, very selective, and I probably have like 15 games. So a pretty small number. I'm a lightweight. I have friends who have hundreds and hundreds of games.
He has friends who need to get rid of some games.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so here's your next one. I think this one will be one that you can expound on pretty well. What is your pet peeve in board game marketing?
In board game marketing, my pet peeve in board game marketing. I'm not sure that I can expound on that. I guess I'm not subjected to that much board game marketing. I'm not looking at press releases and stuff.
Well, I think they're just asking like what things like, you know, big boxes, small. What's one thing that you don't like about board games? Something that they do a lot in board games. That
I don't know. That's a tough question. What don't I like that they do with board games or with the marketing? Maybe just the price. Sometimes there'll be like this game that seems like really interesting and has some engaging things, and then it's like $98 or whatever, right? Yeah. And so it's kind of like, why is that so expensive? And on the one hand, I get it's a niche market, and kind of like they're just not selling as many copies as kind of Monopoly. So I guess maybe just the price. I'd like them to be cheaper. No one will argue with that.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so here's the next one, and I already know the answer to this one for you, but who is your favorite game designer?
So Carl Chudik, absolutely. And I loved innovation. It's funny because like I'm not sure if you can have a favorite designer or favorite author based on one game or one book, but I just love innovation so much that I'd give it to Carl Chudik. I liked Impulse reasonably well, and I liked Red 7 better than a lot of other people I've played it with, and I liked all of his variants on Glory to Rome. I liked Uchronia, and I liked Molinari, and probably Carl Chudik. Yeah.
All right, and here's your last question.
Last question, wow.
Who is your favorite YouTube star?
Oh, Tom Sidener, the lonely gamer.
No, you gotta. you don't get to cop out twice. So you can't pick me. You gotta pick somebody else.
My favorite YouTube star. It's funny. I don't watch really that many YouTube.
And it doesn't have to be board game people.
And the thing is that's it. Like I don't have anything against Tom Vassell, but it's like I don't watch the Dice Tower religiously. I like Will Wheaton pretty well. He's board game related, but even that I don't obsessively watch them. I liked the Guild for a while, which I think that's YouTube. That was certainly a web-based channel, so maybe Felicia Day.
Yeah, that would be a good.
Yeah, I'll stick with Felicia Day. Yeah.
I like Felicia Day.
Yeah.
She's not one that I thought of when I gave mine, but I do like Felicia Day. I like the stuff she's done. I like the Guild, and I like I've watched some of the other stuff that she did on Geek and Sundry for a while there when she was on there, and I enjoyed that. Yeah. Well, that's all of the questions that we have for you, John. So,
great.
Anything you want to add?
I don't know. Argue with any of my answers in the comments if you want, and I'll start a flame war with you, and we can argue back and forth and call each other names.
Yeah, there you go. So if you have any other questions for John, would you like to ask him anything different or anything like that, then go ahead and put them in the comments. And if you have any questions or anything, put them in the comments, and we'll be glad to answer them. Check out our video. We just made a video. We played the demo of Mythic Battles Pantheon. I'll put a link to that down in the show notes. We just did a video for that, and that's a game that I said I was excited about on the last episode in my questions and answers. So if you want to see us play that, you can. Keep in mind it was just a demo. It was a print and play demo, so it's not the full game, but it will give you an idea to get an idea of how the game plays. So
absolutely.
Okay, well, thanks for watching us this week, and until we see you next time, happy gaming.